Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Ram. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swaminiti Namini. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitamena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamakyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sakagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namo Sude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindamani Svari Prishabhan Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarviyasya Kripa Sindhubhyaye Vacha Patitanam Pamnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Isvaraga Paramaga Krishna Satchidananda Vigraga Anadi Radhe Govindaga Sarvakarana Karanam. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. By the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, we are nicely studying Bhagavad Gita, the most confidential knowledge, Raja Guhyam, the king of secrets. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished 32 slokas in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We just have to finish 3 more slokas to complete this chapter. Where in the very first sloka in this chapter, Arjuna asked a question. In fact, he asked 6 questions, asking what is Kshetra, Kshetrajna. He started with Prakriti, Purusha, then Kshetra, Kshetrajna, then Jnana, Jnaya. And Krishna is explaining everything in detail, answering all these questions in detail. So where we are understanding about the super soul also in this chapter. Jnayam is super soul, to be known. Jnayam is to be known, that we should know that super soul Krishna is there in our heart. So that we need to know. So we know that this Kshetra is the body. So Kshetra is the body, and we also know that what this body is made up of. If you go and ask the doctors, so those who go to medical school and they study, if you ask them about what this body is made up of, they simply say that it is mainly carbohydrates. So that is the main thing. And then, of course, water is a major percentage of our body composition is water. So like that way, only based on the elements in the periodic table, that's how we will try to find out what this body is made up of. And simply the bonds, the different types of bonds between them, like protein. So they are basically the peptide bond between the amino acids. So like that, different bonds are there. So similarly, our DNA molecules also, the genes, so they're all bonded differently. So like that, all kinds of different bonds, biomolecules. So that's what our body is made up of. That's what the scientists, they think. But Krishna is teaching us very clearly that our body is made up of these 5 material elements, then the 3 modes of material nature, then ahankara, then intelligence, all such things Krishna is teaching us. So then mind, 11 senses, including the mind, and then 5 different types of sense objects. So all such things. So that way, we need to understand very clearly, even though this body is made up of matter, this gross body is made up of these 5 elements, great elements, with different compositions and different bonds between them and all such things. But their interactions, savikaraka. So we need to understand very well that mind intelligence and false ego is also a part of this body, which is a subtle body, which the modern science cannot understand, cannot explain. They can talk about mind a little bit, but not to the extent what Krishna is teaching us in this Bhagavad Gita. And intelligence also, many times we discuss the so-called intelligence, what we call today, that is not real intelligence. Intelligence means really knowing that we are not the body, we are the soul, and really understanding that we are bound to this material body, and we need to give up all attachments to everything in this material world. So that's what is called intelligence. We know that. And that intelligence we can gain only by connecting ourselves with the super soul. This Atma should be connected with the Paramatma. So this Atma can be connected with the Paramatma only through the mind. Jitatmanaga prasantasya Paramatma samahitaga. So Jitatmanaga. So if we can conquer our mind, Jitatmanaga, then our mind will become peaceful. Prasantasya. So if we conquer our mind will become peaceful. Then with that peaceful mind, so we will be able to connect ourselves with Krishna. In fact, it's in the other way. So we can make our mind very peaceful by connecting ourselves with Krishna, by focusing our mind on Krishna, Paramatma. So all such knowledge, so this scientific knowledge, Krishna is teaching very clearly in Bhagavad Gita, which the modern science cannot teach us. We call it as modern science, but it's really not modern. So the ancient science, what we call it as, Krishna is saying that this Puranaga, so this is always modern science. This Bhagavad Gita is the science which never ever changes in this material world. We simply call it as modern science, but because the so-called science, what we study, they're always changing based upon our findings, based upon our new understandings and all such things. Our science, we keep changing them. So that's why we call it as modern science. After a century ago, after a century from now, so the people at that time who they live, so they call our science as old science. What we are using it, so they will call whatever science they have at that time as the modern science. But at that time, at this time, in the past, in the future, at any time, this Bhagavad Gita is the science which is always never changing, which is always there, and it is always the knowledge about the soul. So that's what we are gaining. We are gaining that oldest knowledge, that is Puranaga. Sayevayam mayatedya yogaga proktaga puradana. That's what Krishna is teaching us. So Puradanaga means the oldest knowledge, and also it is time-tested knowledge. It is always the same knowledge, which can never be changed. So that's why nobody can go and change the Bhagavad Gita as it is. We are studying still the same Gita, same slokas, what Krishna gave Arjuna. So nobody can go and make any change because it is given by Krishna. But when that gets lost, when it gets changed or gets lost, but Krishna will make sure that it is again established. Krishna makes sure this knowledge is given. So the problem is in this materialistic world. So in this material world, so people are more after the material sense objects. So that way we are not able to get this knowledge. So that's why it is always kept as the secret. Once we understand this Bhagavad Gita is the real knowledge, what we need to gain, what everyone should know. So then we will be able to get this knowledge. It's very easy to acquire this knowledge. Very, very simple. To get this so-called modern knowledge, modern degrees, scientific degrees, whatever degrees, anything you want. So one has to really study, work very hard to get that. But to gain the knowledge on this Bhagavad Gita, it's very, very enjoyable experience. All the time we will get enjoyment. All the time we'll get happiness. So that's what we need to understand. Whereas if we prepare for some competitive exams, so there we are not going to find any happiness in preparing for that. We are going to find a lot of ourselves very much stressed, and it's very difficult and very hard. And we have to really work very hard, sacrificing our sleep, sacrificing our physical activities, sacrificing a lot of things and getting a lot of stress. But whereas in Bhagavad Gita, studying Bhagavad Gita, it is actually, we are going to be very, very peaceful all the time. So that's why this Bhagavad Gita knowledge is the knowledge what we need, each and every individual should know. So when we know this knowledge, when we understand this Bhagavad Gita fully, so then whatever we do, we will do it in the right way. That's what is very important. That doesn't mean that just we have to study only Bhagavad Gita, we should not gain any other knowledge. So that's not the case. Because all other knowledge, everything, whatever we gain, everything should be used in the right way using this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. Because Bhagavad Gita knowledge is teaching us how to use our karmendriyas, how to use our legs and hands. That's what is very important. Because just because we are able to move our legs and hands, we cannot commit sinful acts and bind ourselves to this material world. So Bhagavad Gita is teaching us how to regulate our karmendriyas, how to regulate our activities. So, by Krishna's causeless mercy, when we get this knowledge, complete knowledge of this Bhagavad Gita, we will be able to regulate all our activities, especially starting with eating and then sleeping and everything, all other activities, everything should be regulated. And that can automatically happen when we keep ourselves very busy in spreading Krishna's message. So that should be our main goal of our life. And when we keep ourselves extremely busy in this particular service, so then automatically all other spiritual qualities, it will come to us. We will not have any time to go after material sense objects. It should become like that. In this material world, people in general, they don't have any time to come after Krishna because they are so busy with their materialistic activities. The exact thing should happen with the devotees, but in the opposite way, so that we should become extremely busy with Krishna's service so that we will not have any time to do any materialistic activities. Our life should become like that. How it can become like that? It will become like that simply by gaining this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. Because this Bhagavad Gita knowledge can make all such changes in our mind, changes in our life. It brings all goodness to our life, this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. Otherwise, the mind is really going after this material sense objects. The senses are roaming, and everywhere it goes. The mind is not in one place. It's always, it is chanchalam. It's always unsteady, it's astiram. It's always restless, chanchalam, restless. It's always unsteady, astiram. So that's why Krishna is teaching us that yato yato nischalati manas chanchalam astiram, chanchalam astiram. So there is restless and unsteady. So when the mind is restless and unsteady, we need to make it as steady. So we need to make it as stiram. So that is simply by focusing on Krishna. So simply by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra and getting this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and spreading Krishna consciousness and making ourselves, keeping ourselves very, very busy in serving Krishna, identifying devotees. So if we just keep our life very, very highly busy in that sense, so then we don't have any time to think, any time to bind ourselves to this material world. It should become like that. Our daily activities should be so much for Krishna that we simply should not have any time to bind ourselves to this material world. So that way all this material bondage will be broken. We will be freed from this material world. So Bhagavad Gita only has got that much potential. So with Bhagavad Gita, we can achieve, we can accomplish whatever we want, spiritually speaking. And materially speaking, Krishna will take care of everything, because whatever our need, Krishna will fulfill, and we really don't have to struggle and suffer at all. So that way, this Bhagavad Gita satisfies both needs. So our material needs to survive in this world so that we can purify ourselves. So for that also, this Bhagavad Gita knowledge helps, because we are getting the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, using this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. And also, we have to make use of this life to free ourselves from the material bondage. So that Bhagavad Gita, the same knowledge, Bhagavad Gita takes care of it. So that means this Bhagavad Gita knowledge takes care of both our material and spiritual needs. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, now we are in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We finished 32 slokas, as I already mentioned. So we already understood about the Kshetra, Kshetrajna. This body is the Kshetra, and anyone who knows this body is the Kshetrajna. So each and every individual is the Kshetrajna of their own bodies. And the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is the Kshetrajna of all the bodies. Sarva Kshetreshu. So Kshetrajnam chapi mam viddhi sarva Kshetreshu. So you understand that I am the Kshetrajna of all the bodies. That's what Krishna is teaching. And we also understand about the jnanam. What is knowledge? We know very clearly. The knowledge, Krishna in 5 slokas in the 13th chapter, very clearly, Krishna taught us what is knowledge. From the 8th sloka to 12th sloka, Krishna gave a very, very complete list that if we fit into those lists, then we have knowledge. Otherwise, we don't have knowledge. Otherwise, we simply have ignorance. Etat jnanam iti proktam ajnanam yatato anyada. Whatever I have just spoken is knowledge. Anything other than this is ignorance. That's what Krishna is teaching. So, in the 29th sloka, in the 13th chapter, Krishna is teaching us that samam pasyangi sarvatra samavastitam ishvaram nahinasti atmanatmanam tato yati param gatim. So one who is able to see everything equally, because Ishvara, the Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna is there everywhere, equally situated. Samavastitam Ishwaram. So that way, if we are able to see everyone equally, so then Nahinasti Atmanatmanam. So he is not degraded by his mind, and he will attain the supreme destination, Tato Yati Param Gatim. So that's what we are supposed to do. With the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we should be able to see Krishna everywhere. So we should be able to see Krishna in every body. So then we are not going to be destroyed by our mind. So that means our mind will become our best friend. One who sees the super soul equally present everywhere in every living being does not degrade himself by his mind. Thus he approaches the transcendental destination. And how this is going to be possible? Simply by what we are doing every day, simply by studying Bhagavad Gita, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and preparing and offering prasadam to Krishna and spreading this message Bhagavad Gita. So that way we will be able to see Krishna everywhere. So prakrityaiva cha karmani kriyamanani sarvashaka yapasyati tadatmanam akartaram sapasyati. So all the activities, karmani sarvasagam, they are carried out, they are executed by the prakriti. Prakriti kriyamana. So one who is able to see like that and not seeing that he is the doer, yapasyati. Whereas tatatmanam akartaram. So one who sees himself is not the doer, so he is actually seeing. So he actually sees. So that's what Krishna is teaching here. So one who can see that all activities are performed by the body, which is created of material nature, and sees that the self does nothing, actually sees. So that's what we need to understand. We are not doer. We are not the doer. We are not doing anything. Only the three modes of material nature are doing everything. So then in the next sloka, Krishna is continuing it. Yada bhuta pratat bhavam ekastam manupashyati tatayeva cha vishtaram brahma samvatyate tada. So yada bhuta pratat bhavam ekastam anupashyati. So one who sees everything in one place, even though it looks like they are separated, pratak bhavam. So one who is able to see that Lord Shri Krishna as a super soul, the same Krishna is there everywhere. So then tatayeva cha vistaram brahma sambatyate tadam. So he is able to understand, he is able to attain the Brahman platform. When a sensible man ceases to see different identities due to different material bodies, and he sees how beings are expanded everywhere, he attains to the Brahman conception. So that's what Krishna is teaching. Now in the next sloka, what we finished last time, Anaditva nirgunatvat paramatmayam avyayaga sarirastopi kaunteya nakaroti nalipyate. So it is Anaditvan, without any beginning. So Anaditvan. So nirgunatvat. So it is not influenced by the modes of nirgunatvat. So it's beyond the material nature, Paramatma. So Krishna is teaching us that sarira stopi kaunteya nakaroti navlipyate. So even though it's seated inside our body, so it is not the doer, it is not getting entangled. So we need to understand that both the soul and the super soul, it's actually completely pure simply because of our association with the three modes of nature. So that's why we are struggling and suffering, because we are not the doer, nakaroti, and the soul is not bound, but we are actually getting entangled just because of we are suffering, just because we are thinking that we are the doer. So that is the only mistake what we are doing. So we are not the doer, we are not responsible for anything, but simply we accept the responsibility. That's where we are struggling and suffering. So those with the vision of eternity can see that the imperishable soul is transcendental, eternal, and beyond the modes of nature. Despite contact with the material body, O Arjuna, the soul neither does anything nor is entangled. So then the slokas what we are studying today, Krishna is continuing that in the 33, sloka number 33. Yatha sarvagatam saukshmyat akasham no palipyate sarvatra vastito dehe tatatmano palipyate. So this akasha, that is the space. So basically sky, which is pervading everywhere, but it doesn't mix with anything. So that's what we need to understand. So I have my hand here, so I'm occupying this space here, and when I move my hand, so this space is still there. So it doesn't mix with anything. So that way, similarly, the soul which is there inside this entire body doesn't mix with the body. That's what we need to understand. So that's why we are completely spiritual. The soul is there inside the body, and it is sarvatra avastito dehe. So this soul is situated everywhere inside this body. So tatatma no palipide. If you are having a body of an ant, so then the soul is just filling up that entire ant's body. Or if that soul is the body of an elephant, so then it's just filling up the entire elephant's body. That's it. So that way there is no point in trying to figure it out what is the size of the soul and all such things. So I know there is some quote that it is 100 times the tip of the hair and again 100 times all such things. So we don't have to really get into that kind of discussion, because Krishna is very clearly teaching here, as long as the soul inside in any body, so it just fills that entire body. That's what we need to understand. The sky, due to its subtle nature, does not mix with anything, although it's all pervading. Similarly, the soul situated in Brahman Vision does not mix with the body, those situated in that body. Yatha prakasayati krishnam lokam imam ravihi kshetram kshetri tata krishnam prakasayati bharata. So this, when the sun comes up, so it illuminates the entire world. Yatha prakasayati krishnam lokam imam ravihi. Similarly, when the soul inside this body, it illuminates the entire body. So that's why when the soul is gone, when the soul leaves the body, so that body becomes a dead body. That's it. So we are alive and our body is alive, illuminated, because the soul is inside this body. So that's why Kshetram Kshetri Tatat Krishnam Prakasayati Bharata. O son of Bharata, as the sun alone illuminates all this universe, so does the living entity, one within the body, illuminate the entire body by consciousness. So in the last sloka in the 13th chapter, Krishna is continuing that Kshetra Kshetrajnayoryevam Antaram Jnana Chakshusha Bhuta Prakriti Moksham Cha Ye Viduryanti Te Para. So Kshetra Kshetrajnayor evam antaram. So one who knows the difference between the body and the knower of the body. And Bhuta Prakriti Moksham cha. One who also knows that how to get liberation from this material world. Bhuta Prakriti Moksham cha. So Ye Vidugu. Ye Vidugu means those who know. So Yanti, they reach Param, the supreme. There is a supreme destination. So those who see with the eyes of knowledge the difference between the body and the knower of the body. So that's what Jnana Chakshusha. Jnana Chakshusha means the eyes of knowledge. So Kshetra Kshetrajnayor evam antaram Jnana Chakshusha. Those who see with the eyes of knowledge the difference between the body and the knower of the body, and can also understand the process of liberation from bondage in material nature. That is Bhuta Prakriti Moksham cha ye vidu yanti te param, attain to the supreme goal. They also attain to the they attain to the supreme goal. That's what Krishna is teaching. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna. Now let us chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and focus our mind on the transcendental sound vibration. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिनिति नामिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna, Tulsi Vilasa Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna to all the devotees. I kindly request the devotees to use the Zoom raise hand feature to ask your questions to Guruji. Ravin Prabhu has raised his hand.
Yes. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Ravin.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Guruji, I hear that your nose and throat are not that great today.
Yeah, because of changing. Yes, it's getting better. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. So thank you for still conducting the class and giving us all the directions so that we are in Krishna consciousness constantly, Guruji. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And Guruji, in today's sloka, yatha sarvagatam sokshmat akasham nopalipyate sarvatra avasthito dehe tathatma nopalipyate. So we know that the Atma doesn't mix with the body, and the Atma is there everywhere where the body. Guruji, I have heard of some other very special creatures, like there are some insects which are born with, I think, a small ball in their legs, and they feel that though that ball is part of their body and they never leave it, kind of thing. Have you ever heard of that, Guruji?
What is it, Prabhu? Small wall.
There is an insect, yeah, that is born with a small ball in between their legs, and this ball also grows as the insect grows, and the insect always keeps the ball within in between the legs.
You said it's a wall. Is it a wall? That's what it's.
No, ball. B-A-L-L.
Ball. B-A-L-L.
Yes.
Yeah, there are different kinds of species, bro. It's very difficult for us to get into the scientific details of that. So, yeah, but all those things are all like a body only. It's made up of their body, how they behave, all such things. As long as if it has got some function inside the body, then it is useful. Otherwise, even in our body also, some organs we can even remove, still we can live, correct? So like that also it can be there. But yes, bro.
Yes, bro. Yeah, I was wondering if any other devotee knows about this, and like Shashireka Mataji or Ram Prabhu. So yeah. It's a very interesting subject, actually, Prabhu. So I don't know.
Yeah, maybe send me some information. I will try to find out, bro. At present, I don't know, bro.
No problem. Okay. Thank you, Hare Krishna, Guruji. No problem.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Rama.
Rama.
Rama
Hare
Rama.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna to all devotees.
Thank you, Guruji. R.K. Goel Prabhu has raised his hand.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
It's a wonderful class, Guruji, and it's very scientific, and things are now very quickly getting connected.
Yes,
and actually, in today's verses, you have very clearly, it has been told that the soul is not the doer. And one has to understand that soul is not the doer. And so is about the super soul.
yes,
So, and this chapter 13 is very scientifically unfolding each and everything. What I have understood that this Brahma, when we say Brahma, so this soul is basically Brahma, and it is also Akshar. And a living entity is basically a soul, truly speaking. And when this living entity or the soul is under the influence of false ego, then it is under the influence of Maya. And if it understands that it is the part of super soul, of course, the quantity is less, but in quality wise, it is part of super soul. Then it is basically Brahma Bhuta. Otherwise, it is Jeev Bhuta. Is it right, Guruji?
Yes.
And one thing I was just thank you. Yeah. Yes, Guruji. You were saying something.
No, tell Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. You are right, Prabhu. No, I didn't say.
One thing I was slightly getting confused. When we say Man, Buddhi, Ahankar, they are all part of the Apara Prakriti.
Subtle body.
And
Yeah.
mind, actually, soul itself is not attached to anything. As you have said, Akash, like the Akash, soul does not get attached to anything. But it is the mind which gets attached. And intelligence, of course, is always remaining with the mind. Then where does this ahankara comes in between? Ahankara, false ego, we say. This ahankara is basically a kind of a state of mind, basically.
That's
So
correct. It's very
why
much
it is
connected with the
described
mind.
separately,
Thinking that
one element?
I am the doer. So
So
Ahankara
that
is a part of the mind. So mind, they're all very much interconnected. It's very, very difficult to really differentiate between them. So thinking that I am the doer, so when everything is done by the modes of nature, so that thought process, everything is with the mind only, correct? So that's
right.
is the thing. So that means the soul has not controlled the mind. If the soul has controlled the mind, so that means our mind should be focusing on Krishna. So that free will is a part of the soul only. It is not part of the mind. It's not part of anything. It's a part of the soul, that interest. So what you want to serve Krishna, that love. So that love is simply a part of the soul. That's the main thing. We need to develop that love, that bhakti, that prema, correct? So that's where that is missing. So that's why we are in trouble. We are struggling.
So basically, again, it comes to the same thing, that because the Maya is so strong that it does not allow the soul to take control of the mind.
No, it's not like that, because we are not developing that love on Krishna because we don't have the knowledge. So we need to have the knowledge about our mind, the senses, intelligence, body, soul, Krishna, super soul, everything, and develop that love. So when we have that, then Maya is not voluntarily doing anything. It's only because we are under ignorance, because we are attached to the results. So when even if you give an opportunity, there are many, they don't take it. So what to do with them?
And Guruji, then what is the role of the accumulated deeds that we say kalmasha? Nirdhut
Yeah, there is a
kalmasha.
problem. That is going to keep on increasing, and then we will be keep coming back to this well forever.
So if we are constantly attached with the materialistic things, then we are going far and far away from the Krishna.
Very, very far and far away from Krishna. Every life we are getting ourselves very, very far. It's really, that's why Krishna is saying that Tato Yanti Adamam Gatim. So we are reaching the most condemned destination. That's very bad, actually. Very, very bad.
And if we are getting ourselves isolated from the, there is a word, Arti Jan Sansadi. If we are not interested in the crowd, we are trying to remain aloof, free from all the materialistic engagements with the rest of the activities, then we are basically trying to go towards Krishna.
That is correct. That is the way we are getting ourselves detached from everything in this well.
Okay.
We have to detach.
So, Guruji, so this once I had given that analogy of BOD and DO, so that is very practical analogy. Then that way, there is a biochemical oxygen demand, and we have to create a dissolved oxygen by constantly exposing ourselves to Krishna, just like in sunlight and air, they purify the water. So we have to expose ourselves to Krishna. He is the purifier, and that will only help us.
That's correct. That's the thing. Yes, Bhagavad Gita is the purifier. That's it. We have to expose ourselves to Krishna, means we have to expose ourselves to this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. That's it.
Right, Guruji. And Guruji, one more thing, actually, in the Sunday's class at Bangalore, you had, after completing 4 or 5 chapters, you had said that most of the science has been said by the Krishna, and the other chapters are just repetition. But I don't think it is like that. Chapter 13 and 14 are very important, and every chapter and every verse is very important. That way, you had been telling it. So I really agree. Whatever you are saying is correct, and this knowledge is very important. One has to get into every minute detail of this knowledge. Then only we can be
every chapter, every sloka is very important. Yes, Guru.
Yes, Guruji. Yes. So thank you very much, Guruji. It's wonderful learning. I'm so grateful to you. We are really fortunate to learn this knowledge from you. It's mercy of Krishna only. Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna. There are no more questions. Thank you, Guruji, for today's class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Chitrita Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
I'm speaking to you after a very long time, Guruji.
Yes,
And but I've been following you constantly wherever you are in Bangalore. I've seen what a
yeah,
wonderful
I know you
meeting
well.
you all
Yeah,
had,
we couldn't
and everything. I don't have. And only one question which is there in Hindi, ego. They say it's a ek gehra abhiman. So they say that not always is ego, pride, but it's also from hurt. So what do you think about it, Guruji? That does always ego arise from pride or sometimes from hurt?
It is only that not having the knowledge of this Bhagavad Gita, so ahankara vimudatma kartakam iti manite. Because foolishness, that's what foolishness means, not having the knowledge. So we are thinking that we are the doer. So that way everything arises from ignorance, ajnana sammohaga. So it is this confusion, this ignorance, this everything, this ego, everything is coming because of ajnana. Ajnana is ignorance. So again, the same thing what we discussed with Ravi R.K. Goyal Prabhu. So that lack of this Bhagavad Gita knowledge is our real problem. So that's why we are making all kinds of mistakes. We are binding ourselves.
I know, Guruji. Be it a hurt, be it anger, it's all again some form of, ego only. I should think and correct.
Yes.
Right, Guruji.
Yes.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna. इसके गार्ग प्रभु हरे कृष्णा प्रभु वृंदा जी सिंह माता जी हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी हरे कृष्णा.
Thank you for the class. It's really nice to understand all the details. And Bhagavad Gita is one such book which really gives you all the psychology, anatomy, physics, chemistry,
Everything it gives.
everything
Yes.
that we. Yes, Guruji. But this soul, what we keep talking about, is a very, very intricate part of this mind and intelligence. And sometimes it's really difficult to segregate because sometimes, very often in Prabhupada's books also, the soul is used as an another word for the mind. So I think that clarification, that how the soul actually liberates itself is coming from this knowledge only, Guruji.
That is correct, Mother. Knowledge is the key thing. Having the Bhagavad Gita knowledge makes a difference between spiritual and material life. That's it. If you have the knowledge, we can spiritualize our life. Otherwise, our life will be materialized. Will be material life.
We are called the marginal energy of this whole being, Guruji. So that's why it's so easily we fall into this materialistic activities.
That is correct. That's the thing. Because our circumstances, our surroundings, everywhere is Maya, everything is Maya. So we have to be very, very careful. Otherwise, we will easily fall into this hell. This Kama, Krodha, Lobha. So they are the three gateways to hell. If you are associating with the people who are going to hell, so that means they will also lead us to hell. Like if a person is drowning in the water, and if a person is trying to save, many times we read the news that the person who is trying to save is dying, because that is a way. So here also we have to be very careful. So if we are associating with the people who are leading to hell, so then we are going to go to hell. We have to be very careful.
Yes, Guruji. Definitely, I understand this part of association. Yes, Guruji. Thank you so much for today's class. Thank you, Guruji. Take care because your voice is still breaking very often. I think you are.
Yeah, because yes, mother.
Yes.
I just slept and woke up in India time, so that's why it was like that. Yes, mother.
Okay.
It will
Okay,
become
Guruji.
get
Hare
because of the
Krishna.
like Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Sumati Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Thank
Hare
you for
Krishna,
the
Mataji.
thank you for this wonderful class, Guruji, and all the explanations you have given. Really nice to also hear R.K. Goel Prabhu's, how he also deciphers what you say, and really appreciate everything that you have been doing for us, Guruji. Thank
Yes,
you very
Mataji.
much. Thank you very much.
Krishna,
Guruji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Sashireka Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, looks like your health hasn't got, it hasn't really got better.
It will be better maybe in a day or two. Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
I hope you
it
get
was-
enough. Yeah, I hope you get enough rest, Guruji, so that you can start,
Yeah, by Monday it should be fine. Yes, Mataji.
yeah, I hope, because I realize that you have to.
Because when you go for a short visit to India, this jet lag becomes more severe, and that's the problem.
Yeah, Guruji. Also, I think water, weather, everything changing from one place to another. You
Yeah,
went
yeah,
through
we are
so many
traveling
places
lot.
in such a short time, na?
Yes,
Chennai,
yes.
Bangalore, Chennai, Madurai, Satur, Trichy, Chennai, US. So
Yes,
it's
ma'am, you
like,
said it everything correctly. Yes, yes.
yeah.
ma'am.
in that chronological order, it's
Yeah.
a lot. It's a lot to do. It's a lot to demand of your body, isn't it, Guruji?
Yes, ma'am.
Chennai,
So I think,
Bangalore, Chennai.
yeah,
I
it's
think
been
next time I will come for a longer period, so
Yeah,
we
Guruji.
don't have.
So that at least you get a little bit of rest. Also, you've just been
Yeah.
constantly, you've been pushing yourself, constantly traveling. I think it takes a toll of your health naturally. But yes, like Krishna is there to take care, and I'm sure you'll be back.
Yeah,
Thank you so
I
much.
think in a day or two it will get better, no problem.
Yeah. We truly appreciate the fact that in spite of everything, you are so dedicated, and you always, lead by example. You've set an example for all of us that this is the way to dedicate ourselves to Krishna. This is how we must all be. We can't be making excuses that, I have this work or that work, or I'm tired. We can't be making that. That's what you are you are
But a
leading by
very
example.
important point, Mataji, Krishna, like in Bangalore, our lecture, our Srirangam, at that time, Krishna made sure that my throat was fine.
Exactly.
Because I was really
Exactly.
in Bangalore, everywhere, a lot of people are having this cough and other things going on. So that, even now, today also, even now, I don't have cough. So that way, Krishna is saved. Yes, Mataji. Otherwise, it's very difficult.
It's difficult to talk, and I think for you, because you have to speak so much and you have to answer all our questions, and you have to listen patiently to all our gabberings. So your hearing and your throat have to be absolutely perfect all the time, Guruji.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah,
it is absolutely. Yeah,
it is Krishna's mercy only.
Yeah, Krishna's
because
mercy.
Morning 10 to evening 5 in between we had lunch break, but that entire Bhagavad Gita, that was really Krishna's costless mercy only, Mataji.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, Guruji. It's wonderful, Guruji. And I think there are no words from our side to even express the gratitude and the appreciation that we feel for you. We are actually very indebted to you, Guruji, because of your guidance, because of your efforts, your reiteration every day. We continue to be in Krishna consciousness, and we are slowly progressing, slow and steady. I think they say wins the race.
We have Krishna's mercy is there. We will definitely progress, no doubt. Yes,
and we, each one of us, in the last 1.5 years that we have been with you, we can see the transformation, the changes that have happened. Yes, we see for ourselves in our own selves, and the way we.
You yourself was very busy in calling all the devotees, organizing. I think that was a real, very nicely arranged that. That even Mataji, that Bangalore, when Srirangam, even Ram Prabhu also did.
Yeah, Guruji, but it's all Krishna's wish, no? Yeah, it's all Krishna. Krishna gets it done. I always say, Guruji, that after we've learned this, it's Krishna who gets it done from us. You see how nicely he gets it done. He wants it done in a particular way, he'll get it done. You know, whether you want or you don't want, it will happen that way because he wants it that way. You know, it's his will, and
Because
it's just
Krishna wants.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's his
Krishna
plan.
wants.
It's
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
Krishna wants. It is Krishna who wants. It is his plan.
Even this Bangalore, our lecture, we cancelled and Krishna made it happen.
Exactly, Guruji.
Yes, ma'am.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a, you know, I mean, when we start seeing, Guruji, you know, I have realized that when we start seeing with those eyes, when we start seeing with the eyes that it is his mercy, then the whole perspective changes. Everything changes for us. And then, you know, you realize in every small little fragment, you realize that it is he. You know, everything comes from him. It's he who is doing everything. And the more we internalize that, you know, the more we are, you know, we are in absolute bliss all the time because we internalize it. And then we realize that it's he. We attribute everything to him. That's the beauty. Thank you so much, Guruji, for enabling us, for holding our hands, for taking us through this journey, for enabling us to become better and to stay in Krishna consciousness all the time. Extremely indebted to you, Guruji. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Guruji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Sashi Kopat Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna.
How are you, Guruji? Hope you're
By
in safe.
Krishna's mercy, everything is going. Yes, Mataji, just to get it.
Yes,
Back. I know for you also it was a long travel. So I hope
yes. I started early and I was the last to finish my journey. But I was really thank you, Guruji. We had 2 wonderful days listening to Bhagavad Gita because of your thought of doing it so and passing it on the great knowledge to us. And because of you, we formed a great team. And
yes, correct. Yes,
we formed a Krishna family, and it was really a very good time that we spent together, about a week's time.
Yes,
and hope to do so even further. And visit
Krishna.
Yes, Guruji. And it's all because of you, Guruji. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for what you're doing for us, putting in the efforts.
Yes, Mother. Krishna's mercy only. All Krishna's costless mercy will do much more, no doubt. Yes, Mother.
And hope to see you soon, Guruji, again next time. And
yes, Mother. We will plan in advance.
Yeah, work together on this Krishna service.
Yes, Mother. Yes, Mother. Our goal of spreading Krishna's message, definitely we will make continuous progress, no doubt, Mother. It's happening.
Yes, sure, Guruji. Yeah, thank you, Guruji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Guruji. And
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. SK Garg Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
Guruji, I'm sorry I could not be available just earlier. And
No,
Guruji,
no.
Thank you very much, Guruji, for very, very nice explanation in this chapter 13. The Kshetra, what is Jnana, nature, and Prakriti, Guruji, great,
Exactly.
Just have, Guruji, a little doubt. I think it's explained in the last verse. The soul, as it is said, it pervades everywhere. So whatever is the open space outside our body and whatever is the open space inside our body, can we assume that Brahman, that soul, the Param soul, pervades everywhere? Can we take it that way?
Soul is inside this body everywhere. That's the main thing. That's what Sarvatra avastito dekhe. So it's there inside this, everywhere inside this body. Yes, Prabhu. And so whatever the space our body occupies, in that space, soul is there. That's that way you can put it. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, Guruji. That means in each and every, the atom, the molecule of our body, the soul pervades. Guruji, that way, sir?
That's correct. The space, yes, yes, Prabhu.
And Guruji,
whatever space our body occupies, the soul occupies that space. Yes,
right, Guruji. And what about the outside? If we feel the whole universe, the whole space, the infinite space, is that also the Param soul pervades everywhere in that?
Paramatma is pervading everywhere. Krishna pervades everything. Maya tatham idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina. So I pervade this entire universe in my unmanifested form. That's what Krishna says. Krishna is pervading everywhere. Yes, So this is a universal body where Krishna is there. Yes, whereas we are inside our own body. That's it.
That was my doubt, Guruji. That's I mean, we have to understand it, comprehend it. It's very difficult to comprehend that how, because we human beings are taught to understand the finite numbers only, and it's really not possible for us to understand this the infinite nature. And I think wherever this infinite is there, that's the Param Soul. We can take it that way, Guruji.
Yes. Yes. Over a period of time, we'll understand everything fully by Krishna's mercy. Yes.
But Guruji, it's great that this knowledge, this is about 5,000 years old. I mean, given by the Krishna himself, it was given in such a way that even now the scientists cannot comprehend. They can only talk about the physical knowledge, everything. But what about the spiritual? We hardly know anything. And
that's the problem.
Yes, in any other scripture, any other religion, so to say, but there is hardly any concept of this all pervasiveness. Yes. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you very much, Guruji. It's we are understanding it slowly, but yes, I hope to understand it much more in the time to come, Guruji.
Yes, we will. We have a lot of time to understand. We are going to fully understand, no doubt.
Yes, Guruji. And Guruji, take full rest. Tomorrow there is no.
Yeah. By tomorrow, I think I
of your health, Guruji.
Fine. Yes.
Thank you very much.
I slept and just woke up and giving the lecture. That's feeling tired, but tomorrow it will be all right. Yes.
Take care, Guruji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Suresh Tabi Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Very nice lecture, Guruji, today. Especially the example of the Akasha and then you move into the hand, but then it is still separate now. Similarly, that the soul is everywhere, but then it is, you cannot have this thing. You cannot feel it that way. You cannot see that.
Yes.
It's a very nice example.
The soul doesn't mix with the body.
Yeah, it doesn't mix up the body. It is everywhere in the body, but it doesn't mix up.
Mix with the body. Yes.
Very nice example. Understood. Thank you, Guruji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Mahendra Shukla Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dhanyavad Pranam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Take care, sir.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Indra's iPhone, I'm just seeing for the first time. Can you unmute? Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Gayatri Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
So nice class today. Sunday is special. So we are learning 4 slokas totally. So Bhagavad Gita is mostly the combination of all science. As the Mataji told. Very nice, Guruji. Thank you for the wonderful lecture. Still your throat is not okay, huh?
No, it's getting better, Mataji. Yeah, compared to yesterday, it's much better today. Maybe tomorrow it's fine. Yes.
Yeah, today and tomorrow. Today you don't have class.
Yeah, we don't have any class. Maybe when we start on Tuesday morning, it should be fine. Yes, Mataji.
It will be better. Yes, thank you, Guruji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Indra Mataji, Hare Krishna. Indra.
Good morning, Guruji.
Good morning, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So you are correcting from which place, Mataji?
Bangalore.
Oh, Hare. So did you attend our program on that 18th?
No, I met you on that Mataji's house. No, before that you had came. No. you had come to that Mataji's house in Hennur. So I met you there.
So, we met there. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yes, Mataji. So very nice. So yeah, Krishna's mercy. So it's nice. You please, you are there in our WhatsApp group, correct, Mataji?
Yeah.
Okay. So that way we can understand everything. Any questions you have, Mataji?
No, I joined late today, so I didn't attend the full class.
Okay.
Explanation.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I think Mataji is Sumati Mataji's cousin.
Yeah, correct.
Indra
Sumati.
Mataji lives in...
Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
Benson Town. She lives in
you.
Benson Town. She had come to our place that day. Indra Mataji is Sumati Mataji's cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know the name.
Umapati Prabhu's cousin, actually, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. I remember Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, you remember, no?
Yeah, I remember very well, Mataji. I remember you came to Krishna's place. I remember
now. I now remember. Yes.
Yeah.
I also remember. Yes. That was during our first visit, correct, Mataji?
Yeah, was first visit in our Hennur Mataji's house.
That is correct. First visit, not on September 18th, like in February, last February. I remember you very well. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. This meeting I couldn't come because we have a community meeting, so I was busy with that. I couldn't join.
Yeah, no problem, Mataji. Yeah, so that's very nice, Mataji. So you can continue listening now about like WhatsApp group.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Guruji.
Hare Krishna. Kadiravan Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Guruji, are you Guruji?
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare
Guruji, all my family members are suffering bad fever, Guruji. 20, 21, 22, 3 days.
I wanted to call you, I couldn't call you. How are they doing now, Prabhu? Are they better? Your voice is
not contact. Virdula is very interested for the meeting of Guruji. But what can we do? 3 days are very bad. Bed sick, Guruji. All family in bed sick, Guruji.
Okay, I think Krishna's mercy will all be get better soon. Hare Krishna.
Your voice is also some difference, Guruji.
Yes, Prabhu, because of the travel and other things, now it's getting better.
Yes, Guruji. Take care, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Palaniappan Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama. So today's all three slokas are, I think it's very, very important. And only thing is the 35th sloka. Could you explain again, please?
1 second. Prabhu. Thirty-fifth sloka, Krishna is teaching us.
35th, yeah.
Yes. So there is Kshetra Kshetrajnayor evam antaram jnana chakshusha. So anyone who understands the difference between the body and the soul with the eyes of knowledge. So that means with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. If you understand the difference between body and the soul and understand also of the Prakriti Moksham. So that is simply by surrendering unto Krishna. So then they will attain the supreme goal. So they will go to Goloka. That's what Krishna is teaching us. So that means if we simply know this Bhagavad Gita fully, so that means we have the eyes of knowledge. So that means we'll go to Goloka. You understand that, no?
Understood. That is body and the knower of the body are different.
That's correct.
So,
body is the material body and knower of the body is the spiritual soul.
Oh, that is the soul. Knower of the body is the soul. So
yes.
that is the thing. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Sashireka Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Prabhuji. Taking forward from what Guruji, from what Parniappan Prabhu asked, when he says that it's the knower, so does it mean that when I mean, is it understood that when we have knowledge, we are actually implementing it? Is that what it means?
That, of course, when we have the knowledge, so that means we are going to use the knowledge. Anyone who has the Bhagavad Gita knowledge, we will definitely use. There is no doubt about it. Because
So when I say that, go ahead, Guruji. Go ahead.
No. Krishna simply says in Bhagavad Gita that Adhyasate Chayimam Samvadam. So Avayoga. So anyone who knows knowledge, they will develop interest in Krishna. So Ishtosyam itime mati. So Jnana Yajnena Tenakam Ishtagashyam itime mati. So with the knowledge itself, they will develop interest, they will develop love on Krishna. So that way, if you have the knowledge, so that means we are going to apply this knowledge. There is no doubt about it. Having the knowledge and applying this knowledge, they are not two different things.
So they are perceived as the same thing. So it's not sufficient for me to have read the Bhagavad Gita and say, okay, I know it. It's not that. It is to internalize the whole thing. It is to internalize the whole concept. And that is the person who will go to him. That's what it means.
That is correct. That is correct.
I think, that clarity. I think I needed that clarity to understand. That's why I asked you, Guruji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Guruji. Sorry for asking again. Thank you,
No
Guruji.
problem, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Palniappan Prabhu, you understood, correct, Prabhu?
Yeah, understood. I fully understood.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mani Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Krishna, Guruji. After gap of 1
nice
week.
meeting you, Prabhu. Nice meeting in person last Sunday.
Exactly. I think you are also running around.
Exactly 1 week ago, correct?
Yeah. Now you got settled. Coming week, Navaratri week, no. So we will have a good interaction on Krishna's conscious.
Yes, Prabhu.
So, as usual, this Sunday also, I joined. So in between with Japa, I completed my Mahalaya Amavasya Tarpana also. So I could not able to go 100% what you are preached. But I will watch the YouTube and I will make it. So how is your health and other things? As Kadiravan has told, your voice has changed.
Overall,
I observed.
Overall, it is all fine. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Overall, Krishna's mercy.
Small voice difference was found.
Exactly.
I thought
because I just slept due to jet lag and woke up and immediately started giving the lecture. That's why the voice was feeling like very.
So Krishna will give you all strength, Guruji. Don't worry. We all pray. You come to the form, full form. This Kshetragya Evacha in Vishnu Sahasranamam I used to chant, no. There also it used to come. Today I came to understand. I thought that it is outside. It is talking about Kshetragya means area, whichever area and all. Now I got a clarity that it is within your soul itself. You have to identify and differentiate. Yes. So you have to differentiate. You have to differentiate with your sense. That's you are with what do you call your soul. The spiritual soul. You have to identify each and every sense. You can identify. So very nice. I think this Zoom we could not able to watch, Guruji. That Srirangam.
Yeah, I will try to upload that video after when I receive from Ram.
So I was eager to know. So what are the things we need to improve in the next 6 months or 1 year when you are coming back to India?
We will discuss more. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, I need to join another meeting now, which is 5 minutes late already. I asked them. So we'll discuss maybe next class.
Guruji. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji. And we are all blessed to have this. And we will catch up from tomorrow onwards. Tomorrow class is not there, no?
No, day after tomorrow we'll discuss. Yes.
Okay, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Sunil Srivas Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandvat Pranam Prabhuji.
Dandvat Pranam Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Ram Ram. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, I'm not able to pay Prabhupada's Kirtan now because I'm very late for another meeting. We'll discuss and we'll